Oh, faceplant? Faceplant?
Faceplant.
I just said a faceplant.
Face. Yeah, it's just like faceplant.
For the longest time, I thought you were saying faceplant every time you talked about it with me until I heard you talking to someone on this podcast about it, and they clearly said phase plant.
We're on. This time we got something a bit different going on. We got G-Banger. You know, you have a fair bit of lore in the podcast history.
I know. I listen to every episode. I feel like you've been dropping little tidbits about
I do.
me.
No, yeah, I know. I do a lot. Thank you for coming in. I am actually
welcome. I'm kind of butthurt that it took you this long to get me on here, but it's okay.
Well, there you go. Welcome. All right, I'm just gonna let you out me. All right, what's it like dating me? How gross am I? I think about this. I try to think about how I'm perceived to other people, and sometimes I think I'm super fucking gross. What do you reckon?
I don't think, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like the most clean, hygienic, like put everything back where you get it from.
What about 1 is like, what's a germaphobe? What's that? Is it germaphobe? Fuck me. Yeah, right, germaphobe. Okay. 1's like a germaphobe.
With OCD.
With OCD, yeah, like a Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
And then there's like a comedian.
Oh.
So I don't know why I threw that in there.
Yeah,
I didn't think you weren't going to get that. But so 1 is like a Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
And then 10 is like a fucking hoarder.
Oh, okay.
What am I?
When we first started dating, I reckon 8. But then now, I think that you're probably 6.5.
Whoa. Okay.
So like a hard middle, but leaning towards, because I'm like quite a clean, tidy, neat
if
person.
we're talking
so I
like
think
some OCD, yeah.
So I think for me, that's a 6.5 because you still fucking leave your shit everywhere, but not as bad as when we first started dating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you shower more often now.
Oh my God. But you know what's so funny about that as well? It's like, I'm kind of glad that I'm doing dubstep now. I mean, like we've talked a lot about how it's like dubstep's like
you fit the
I mean, you know who you're wrapped around, artists and everything. You know what Subtronics looks like. You know that guy doesn't
If you grew your hair out.
Oh my God.
If you grew your hair out, you'd honestly kind of look similar as well.
Oh my God. How far do you reckon I could push it of just like being grubby and just like going deep into like, I'm not cutting my hair. I'm just like producing and not doing anything. I'm not really showering. How far do you reckon I could push that until you have it like a full-on intervention with me?
Well, see, I don't think it would be like that. I think it's like, how far would you have to push it before other people would have an intervention? Because like I'd be there every day when you came home, just be like, you need to fucking take a shower. You need to
I'd be like,
or I'd be there making you like dinner, so you'd have to eat properly. Like you wouldn't be surviving off like energy drinks and fucking darts or anything. Like,
oh my God, yeah, yeah, pretty much.
But it would be like before other people would start to notice and be like, oh, what's happening to fucking Jopie?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I feel like people
like before
would say,
the outsider notices something.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty standard as well. It's like, I feel like that would probably happen as well to most people, where it's like you'd notice someone going downhill from the outside.
Or someone who only sees you like once a month, like the progression.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Some people would be like, what the fuck's going on? Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I'll take a 6.5, because I reckon I'm doing so much better. I feel like I've caught a lot of like your cleanness.
I mean, that just comes with like coexisting, I feel.
Oh, well, I mean like, well, yeah, exactly. Like, and we never didn't live together when we dated. We've always,
we had separate rooms, which was funny though, because we started dating in college.
Yeah.
And we had our rooms down the hallway from each other.
Yeah.
it would be funny going from one of our rooms to the other
Yeah.
because we'd take turns like whose room we'd like sleep in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And going from my room, everything would be in its nice right spot. The sheets have been washed like at least once a fortnight. Like
Oh my
everything's
God.
vacuumed, and then we'd go
Yeah.
to the other side of the like college.
Yeah.
And there'd be clothes everywhere. He's down to his last pair of undies. Like
Oh my God.
haven't washed
yeah.
his sheets in like 3 months.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, to be fair, I didn't
But
really
one-
understand that you're supposed to wash your sheets a lot.
But then when
That's
we
what I
actually moved
realised.
into the same room, I think you definitely got your shit together a bit more.
No, yeah, I had to. It was just like, it's just like, yeah, it just hit the point where it's like, I was just like, it was like a lot to kind of deal with, a lot to kind of get into the routine of. But the more I realized that, oh my God, dealing with things as they come,
Improves the quality of your life.
it
Would you
feels
look at that?
pretty good. And I mean, like, we see the classic example. We live with my brother now, and it's like, we come in, we clean up the fucking space. Like, it was him and another housemaid. They're all dudes. Like, you know how it goes. Everyone who's listening to this fucking knows how it is.
Aw.
Everyone knows how it is. And we clean up the space, and he was just like, wow, I feel so much better now that things are cleaner. And it's just like, yeah, like cluttered space just clutters your mind. And if you're trying to do something like creative, like he paints, then you're fucked. You're just completely fucked. So I've really kind of adopted that. And I feel like I've kind of started being a bit like, bit too on top of things as well. I feel like I exhaust
Arguable.
myself. I feel like I have like internal battles where I'm just like, fuck, you don't need to do that right now. But
It would feel so
You
much
do.
better.
no, I'm going.
That
This,
happened to
back
you
and forth.
yesterday when you were trying to figure out your FL Studios. And I was like, babe,
Oh
you've
my
got to put the laptop away now, okay? We've got to have some dinner.
Oh my fucking God! Yeah, no, that's so fucking classic. It's like, 'cause I'll lose my mind. I get pretty out there. What's the hardest thing about dating me, from your perspective?
Oh, it's like, uh,
I'm committed.
that's putting me on the spot. The hardest thing.
So what's an annoying thing?
I think just annoying or hardest is very, very
Annoying.
different.
I'm gonna take a left turn.
Yeah. I think the fact that I always think like 3 steps ahead. So I'm always like dealing with like the stuff that's coming, but I feel like you're like a 1 step ahead kind of person. So by the time we get to the point like in the future, I've already thought of everything, but you haven't even started thinking about it yet. Does that make sense?
No. And I have a great example where it's like, you were telling me, you've always told me, like, you've always been on top of it, being like, hey, look, I think you should like focus on balance. I think you should focus on like, and I mean, if you listen to like the podcast, like I've said a
Yeah.
lot about how important balance
Yeah, I
is.
know.
That's like copyright stolen
me
from
driving
you.
to work, and you're like, the most important thing is actually balance. I'm like, oh my god,
Shut
dude!
up,
I was actually talking about that last night, being
Like,
like,
yeah.
Chopey, the most important thing is actually balance. And
And
you're like,
I fucking stole that shit, dude. I stole that shit. And like, it's funny because you tell me those things, and just the way that I am, it's like, I can't help but be like, nah, I don't believe it unless I intuitively have experienced that. And so until I experience it through myself, I can't listen to you.
You're also like, I think another annoying thing
Yeah, go ahead.
is it's like it ties into the same thing.
Yeah.
Is like you won't take advice until you come to that conclusion on your own, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
which generally
It makes
means-
sense, but it's so
things are
like
harder.
frustrating.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to give you advice that I know will like improve the quality of your life, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. And then like 6 months later, you're like, oh, that actually is really helpful.
yeah, it's so interesting. It's like the way that my brain works, just like,
Well, it's just like touching the stove, right? The same,
Yeah.
just like you have to touch the stove. Like
Yeah.
your parents can tell you don't touch the stove, but as soon as you touch it, then that's when you learn.
and then you
yourself.
you like intuitively like understand. And I think the more you do that as well, the more you kind of understand how to take people's perspectives and to let go of how you feel in the moment as well. Because then there might be a lot of times where I might feel no, like that's bullshit. Like I know what's happening. And then it's being like, all right, hold on. Let's take a breather.
Because sometimes it like advice can feel like a challenge to your own autonomy as well.
Yeah, and I think it's like I'm definitely like a bit difficult in the sense that like I don't like having any sort of autonomy challenge, and I'm always just like, this is me, this is what I'm doing, no one can tell me otherwise, which has its strengths, but it's like, fuck, sometimes it makes life pretty fucking difficult. But I do find it funny that I've fully stolen your balance thing a fair few
I don't think it's my balance thing. I'm pretty sure if you ask like like any person who has like has their shit together will tell you that balance is pretty important.
Yeah, no, I know.
But I'll take it.
100%. I think maybe it's just because most people that I talk to don't have their shit together.
Maybe.
I'll tell you that. I mean, like, come on. It's like, it's so true. It's like the amount of people even like talk to this podcast, like, especially people who like produce and things like that. It's like, I mean, I listen to Tom Segura. You know that I fucking froth Tom Segura. And they always say that, like, if you want to do something, like, artistic as, like, a full-on career, or, like, if you want to be a comedian, it's, like, you got to be, like, kind of fucked in the head to not just be okay just, like, working and just, like, enjoying your life. You have to just be like, no, I'm going to fucking and just do this and blah, 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 and just, like...
Well, yeah, trying to make a creative, like, thing into an income... is just definitely is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah. No, and I think it's just like you gotta have something. There's gotta be something.
Like there's a hustle.
On.
It's a hustle.
Yeah.
Like you don't just get it from having like a degree. Like you don't just get to go and have your path kind of laid out for you in the same way that people go to university and then they have the qualification and then they're now eligible for like all these certain jobs. It's like you kind of have to make that own path for yourself.
Yeah. And the thing is that it's almost like, I feel like it's basically almost always driven by some sort of insecurity. Almost always, I think. Because then that's the same thing of how like you listen to real famous people and they go, and they're trying to chase this happiness, and then they just realize that it's just never there and it was just like them. Everyone says that same thing.
I guess that's what divides like people who do like the creative things as more of like a hobby.
Yeah.
Because they purely just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or the people who are like, no, this has to be like my life.
Yeah.
I guess. Feeling like a hole.
No, and like 100%. I mean, like, and I like anyone listening to this, it's just like, and if you're in that position and you disagree, shut up. Just shut up. Don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're full of shit. You're insecure. You're insecure.
You'll find the hole later.
Yeah. Everyone's just fucking so insecure. It's hilarious. Not hilarious in the sense that people are. Not in the sense that people are insecure, but just how insecure just like humans are. It is funny. I'm gonna take a left turn. I want to talk about your music taste.
Okay.
You know your music taste. You got.
Yeah, I do.
I would say, shut up. Shut up. Yeah, I know you do, but you have, I think probably. I'll say it right now, one of the most elite music tastes of all time.
Thank you.
And I will back that. I think your music taste is way better than mine, honestly.
Aw, thanks.
And I am attached to my music taste, but I understand that listening to just fucking full-on headbang dubstep all the time isn't necessarily a good music taste. For me, it's great, but anyway, you have probably like one of the best fucking music tastes. And for anyone who doesn't know, you have got that wonky trap down so fucking hard, and you hold down all that wonk, but then you're also I kind of like that too.
Wonk in that trunk.
Yeah, there you go. Might have to use his mics to do a recording later. But you got that wonk down, and it's like, I want to ask you about how you went from your Armidale music taste, because for anyone who doesn't know, you're from Armidale. I've told that a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's like I think that's the only thing that people know about me. Like, this is Grayson. She's my girlfriend. She's from Armidale.
yeah, basically. It's just like, it's so funny. I always love calling you Farmville.
Farmville, yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God, especially if there's like a cockroach in the house. I fucking implode. I can't deal with it.
Or spider.
Spiders. I think the thing about spiders
come
is that
on.
no, shut up. All right, it's just such a classic. Like, I'm just a fucking North Shore city boy. I'm such a fucking gronk, and you're just like a full Farmville. Just like you probably just grab the fucking spiders with one hand. And just like, oh yeah, there you go. And yeah, I forgot what my point was, but it is for you.
It's just like not a defining, but it's like part of my intro tag.
Yes. Yes, essentially. It's a part of your CV to an extent.
Yeah.
How'd you go from being Armadale to getting into that wonk? Because when we first met, I'll give you a little run up. Because when we first met, one of the biggest green flags was I was just like, all right, you got some Mackie G, fuck yeah. You got Billy Kenny, okay, I fuck with Billy Kenny, nice. So you already had some cool music taste going. So can you kind of speak on how you went from that in Armadale to kind of finding that wonk? Finding that trap.
Wonk.
Find that wonk.
Oh, I mean, I started out pretty white girl basic, like top 50 until like I was probably like 18. And then I started getting, 17, 18, I started getting into a bit more of like rap and stuff. And then...
You're deep on the Eminem too.
Oh my God, Eminem, that was a huge phase that like lasted like 3 years. Just pure Eminem all the time.
Yeah.
And then I remember this is actually a pretty funny story. I remember when I was 18, like first starting to be able to go out, even though in Armadale there's like 3 pubs. So
you go
out,
to the pub
out
with
means
the DJ.
going to the pub. Yeah, no, there's no DJ. There was There was only one pub in Armadale that had a DJ occasionally.
Yeah, the one fucking once a month DJ.
But I remember discovering Dom Dollar. Take It. That was my favorite song for like 3 months, but everyone else hated it because everyone else was into country.
Yeah.
I dabbled in country.
You dabbled. I mean, I've talked about Butt Fucked in Boston before.
I dabble. It still slaps. Sometimes I'll still chuck on a bit of a country song.
Yeah.
But I remember finding Take It by Dom Dollar and like losing my mind, but everyone was like, oh, this fucking sucks. And I remember like one time the one DJ in Armadale played it out and I was like, and no one knew who Dom Dollar was. And then I thought that was really unique and cool and quirky. And then I got to Canberra and everyone was like, Dom Dollar.
Dude, I've been
Dollar.
listening to Dom Dollar before he was fucking Dom Dollar.
Yeah. So I was dabbling in a little bit of that stuff, but I didn't really know how to beat search either. Like, I had no idea how to beat search. All I was like go on Spotify, and if I liked a song, I'd kind of like go into the, you know how they had the recommended based on what you've been listening to. That's the only way I knew kind of how to find new songs. I didn't know that you could like click on like the artist and see who was similar to the artist and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's how I found new songs. So I didn't really have that much in my playlist. But then I met you, and then that's that basically. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we kind of so for the first like year and a half that we were dating, I would only kind of listen to like your stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, they froth this is good. Yeah. And then I think before we went to Countdown in America, I was beat searching for that because I was like, I like listening to all the artists before going to a music event.
And for anyone who doesn't know what Countdown is, it's a basically an alien themed 2-day festival a couple hours out from LA.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was a big lineup. It was pretty fun.
So I started like doing my own beat searching for that to kind of listen and get more familiar with that type of music. And I found Aliens. Yeah. And I lost my fucking mind.
You know, apparently I found out that it's actually Ataliens or something like that.
Oh, get off it, really?
I don't know who told me that or something.
It's spelled Atliens.
Or like Ataliens?
Ataliens?
We'll have to fact check that. I probably sound like an absolute dickhead right now, but continue.
Anyway, I'm going to keep saying aliens until proved otherwise.
I like that. I'm with you.
So I found them and I lost my fucking mind. And then that's kind of where I started getting my own sort of music taste, the more minimalistic, wonky, trap, dubstep stuff. And yeah, that's what I'm still kind of into.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And like, I mean, you gone deep in that. I mean, the other day you tried DJing for the first time. We
Oh,
loaded
yeah?
up some fucking songs, gave it a whirl.
It did not go very well because I didn't know you had to try to find songs with the same BPM.
Yeah, no, that's so classic. I know when I first loaded up Dex, it was just
I
like,
mean, it makes sense, but I just
what the
didn't think
fuck?
about it.
No, you don't. And like the problem with the Your Wonky Trap is that it's so
Varied.
Yeah, like some
Plus,
of it's super
you know what
slow.
they need to do on Spotify? They need to put in the BPM of the songs.
Do you reckon?
Well, it would be good for like DJs, wouldn't it?
It would be good for DJs.
So you could literally go into your Spotify playlist and sort it based on BPM. So you can have a
I
look
see
at
what you're
all
saying.
of the different. It's like, you know how you can sort based on date added to your playlist, based on artist name.
It wouldn't take very long either. It's just a fucking BPM.
Well, that's what I
I mean,
mean.
just
Well,
sort by
everyone
tempo.
everyone knows what the tempo is anyway, what the BPM is anyway.
Yeah,
When they upload,
yeah.
like when you upload your song.
Oh yeah, well, you fucking made it. Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly. That's
should-
what I
if
mean.
you don't know your fucking
So then
BPM
they could add that to Spotify, and that would make it so much easier for like DJs who are beat searching to find songs.
That's smart, or at least on SoundCloud.
Oh, fucking SoundCloud! I hate SoundCloud so much. They need to make it more accessible. I hate the way it looks. It looks
Yeah.
so stupid.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm
a bit more
cleaning. The
niche.
buttons are everywhere. It's like Spotify is so much. The interface is just so much more user friendly.
Yeah, for sure. It
So
really
if they
fucking is.
want people to get on SoundCloud, they really need to revamp it. They need to hire a new graphic designer or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely see what you mean, but I guess that's
Because it's like
I guess
every
that's where
time
the
I go
money
on there, I
is.
get so overwhelmed by all the like the bits and pieces and the this and that. And nothing's simple to just like find new artists, find new songs.
It definitely, I think it. I would push back and say that it is, but there's a.
But only
learning
because you've
curve.
been using it for like 10 years.
Yeah, there's a learning curve. It's different because it's like, yeah, once you kind of like find your groove on SoundCloud and you find like some of the songs that you kind of fuck with and you get on there and you start to kind of like get underneath like that surface, then you start to find all those like random.
But I
little
think that
flips
I
and
just
stuff.
don't have the motivation to do
No,
that. Like I can't
and
be
that's-
fucked. Like
Yeah, and
it doesn't matter to me
obviously,
whether
yeah.
the song's on SoundCloud or Spotify. I'll just listen like, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just-
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit different than if you're like trying to just go deep.
Yeah,
deep
because
into the
obviously
genre.
I'm not trying to build sets with unreleased songs, so that's probably why I don't use SoundCloud.
Yeah. I'm not unreleased. That's an allegation. What
What does that
people
mean?
I know people get all weird like if you like rip songs. That's like a whole
Oh.
different fucking thing.
Well, like songs based from people who haven't got them
Yeah.
professionally released through
Yeah,
Spotify.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know
That's
SoundCloud.
what I meant by unreleased.
No, it's so funny. I know some people. I know there's like some fucking absolute scandals that go on through SoundCloud of like unreleased stuff.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
Yeah, happened to some Australian artists, and it was just a whole fucking thing. But like, you got to be a pretty big asshole to like just start ripping shit.
Yeah.
It's like rip shit from like fucking David Guetta. Don't rip shit from the bloke from like
Yeah, who's actually trying to like
from like
make
the
it.
suburbs who like just trying to like make it. It's just like
Yeah.
at least rip it from like someone who's like fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I want to get into this game.
Okay, I'm ready.
Right? So, there is 3 tiers to this game, right? The first tier is obviously the easiest questions. Level 2 is a bit harder, and then level 3 is going to be level
Am I
3 is
allowed
hard.
to have hints?
You can have hints, yeah.
Because I haven't heard you talk about it in a while.
I was gonna say this is another point that I was gonna make, that you're out of form because
I am out of form.
I've become more self-aware about talking at you,
Yeah.
and or not just like flooding you with like no. So like with faceplant, the thing you got to understand is like
If I get stuck, can you give me a multiple choice? Like,
I can give you a hint. None of them they're not really like yes or no's, but I'll give you like a hint.
Okay.
All right.
all right.
So the first one is,
Yeah.
what is a DAW? DAW. An example of it
yeah.
would be FL Studios or Ableton.
Oh, like what you make the music on. The platform.
yeah.
What's the
The
scientific
digital audio workstation. I
okay.
probably could have like done that question a bit different, but all right. What is the difference between drum and bass and dubstep?
Oh, the BPM,
That's good. Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. We take those.
right? Do you want to know more?
You
Drum
go.
and bass is at 174.
Yeah, go on. That's fucking good. Yeah, there you
Dubstep
go.
and trap is slower. 140s to 150s.
Fuck yeah. Can you do the drum patterns for me?
What does that mean?
Like the drums. How do drum and bass drums sound?
I don't want to.
You don't want to make
They're just boom, boom.
Do we take those? We got the recording. We take those. All right. What about dubstep? Do the dubstep ones?
I don't know. Well, it depends, doesn't it?
Okay, whatever. All right, shut up.
Not
That's
all
how you-
dubstep.
It's not- shut up. Shit, shut up. All right. What is a sub bass?
The really low one, low frequency.
We take those. Can you name one
Oh.
waveform?
Sine wave.
Fuck yeah.
This
dude.
actually comes from a physics background, just saying.
No, I'm cutting that out. No. All right. What does wheel mean?
You gotta spin it back really, really fast and play the drop again.
Nice. All right. How do you define...
Is this level 2 now?
No, not quite. I'll let you know.
okay,
This is the last level 1.
Okay.
How do you define trap?
Me? What do you mean? How do I define it?
How would you define trap? I can give you a hint.
So it's not BPM.
No.
Oh.
That's why your trap
Hints?
changes BPM.
Oh, the
Oh,
bass,
no.
the drums.
Close. The drums. There you go. We take those.
Okay.
Can you do a trap beat?
No.
Okay.
I don't really get
that.
what you mean by like do a beat.
Like the drums. Like how do the drums for trap sound?
It's like boom, boom, boom.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Come on. All right. You take that. All right. Level 2.
Oh shit.
All right. First question. What is a synth?
Synthesizer. The
There
little
you go.
sounds.
Can you name one?
Can you give me the first letter?
S is a classic one. I've recently stopped using it as much.
Oh, I don't know.
Serum.
Oh, I actually did know that. You always talk about serum.
I know.
Oh, faceplant?
There you go.
Faceplant?
Faceplant.
I just said a faceplant.
Face. Yeah, just like
For
faceplant.
the longest time, I thought you were saying faceplant every time you talked about it with me until I heard you talking to someone on this podcast about
Yeah.
it, and they
Phase.
clearly said phase plant.
But
you
I
say
stumbled.
faceplant. You say
And this is,
faceplant.
and I was literally talking to Lucas who came in, Roki, because I recorded an episode with him, and I literally said, I was like, it's so wholesome that you listen to all of them, but I know about it when I fucking like when I mouth breathe on it, and I just like sound like an idiot. It's like, why'd you say it like that? Fuck,
Yeah, I
know.
get home from like a drive back from work because that's where I listen to it. I'm like, I didn't know that you blah blah blah, like something that you've said.
I'll just like say some dumb shit. You always
I'll just come home.
call
I'll
me
just
out.
quote something that you've said, and you're like, oh fuck.
No, you always call me out when I start like 3 different thoughts at once, and I get really
it gets
confused.
really confusing because I think the thing is because if I was in person with you, I'd just like rein it in.
Yeah,
But
you would
since
just
I'm
be like, "What are
listening to you on
saying?"
the podcast, you're just kind of like rambling, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. I can definitely ramble. All right, number 2. What is a transient? I'm not 100% sure if I've told you about this one, but you might.
Transient.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you've told me about it. I know what the word transient means.
What does transient mean?
Fleeting, brief.
Oh, that actually makes sense in terms of what a transient is.
I
with
wonder
sound.
why they called it that.
There you go. There you go. Because a transient is essentially the initial attack of a sound. Like,
Oh,
if
wait, no, you
think-
have told me that.
Oh, well, then you get 0 points.
Oh, no.
You get
How many
half a
points
point.
am I on?
I actually don't know.
Aw.
I'm not keeping track at all. I'm just getting a general vibe.
Okay.
All right. What is compression? Can you define compression?
There's multi-band compression.
Oh, no, wait, you messed up my next question. Just
Oh,
keep going.
shit.
No, just take it
Compression,
down,
where you compress the sound really, really tight.
That's good. We take those.
I don't know what that actually means.
Can you
though.
describe what it means? It has something to do with bringing levels lower than a certain point and levels higher than a certain point to a point.
Did you not just define it for me?
Yeah, I suppose I just
All
did.
right, so you'd bring levels that are lower than a certain point and higher than a certain point, push it down, compress it to this point in the middle.
Yeah, and then the compression ratio is how hard it gets crunched. All right. Anyway,
These are getting too hard.
well, now my next one is what is multiband compression?
Multi-band compression is
Yeah. We got the compression part.
multi-band,
Yeah.
where you compress the low, middle, and high frequencies.
Oh yeah. That's
yeah.
a fucking zinger. We take those. Oh, come on. Can you give an example of one? I love it. It starts with an O, ends in a T.
OTT.
Yeah, we take those. Come on.
I feel like a kid that's like heard their parents talking in the kitchen about something random, and then they're like throwing out these random words. They're like, I don't know what that means, but I heard you talk about it.
It's like I've definitely heard it. You've probably said it at me before.
It's like stir the memory in here.
Yeah. Because to be fair, you are not informed right now. You have been more informed because I think I've been taking a bit of like a break on producing for a second.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The last like
over
month,
Christmas and
probably.
stuff, so.
Yeah. I've taken like a month to like kind of like slowing it down a bit, and I've become more emotionally self-aware to not talk at you all the time.
That's okay.
So yeah. Anyway, all right. I hope you got this one. All right.
Oh.
What is side chaining?
Oh, fucking! I'm all over side chaining.
I was gonna
right?
put this as a 1, but I wasn't 100%.
I don't really
sure.
know all the terms, right? But
It's okay.
it's
you
where
can
you-
describe.
it's where the one part of the music drops out so that the bass comes through stronger, right?
Oh, not quite. You got so close to the very last bit.
Not bass.
No.
Something
the bass
drum.
doesn't come. There you go.
I feel like that's the thing that I have the most problem with is what the fuck is drums and what is bass?
All right.
No.
Well, I mean, the drums are just like the rhythm. It's just like,
So what's bass?
just like basically all the sound. Because bass is made
See,
up.
I think that's what's confusing to someone who
bass
doesn't.
is confusing.
But that's confusing to someone who doesn't like get it. You know what I mean? Because bass, using the word bass to me signifies like low, like bass,
Yeah.
like bass guitar, bass cello, like bass fucking whatever they are, double bass, like the
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, but
Like
bass refers to the whole frequency spectrum, essentially.
See, that's what confuses me because when I think bass, I think low sounds, and then I'm
That's
like,
what
okay,
I thought
well,
for a long time.
bass
too,
is the thing at the bottom, but that's drums, not bass.
Yeah. No, yeah, it does get very confusing because it's just like,
That's what throws me off when I
Yeah.
think about bass.
well, I mean, do you know the function of sidechaining? Do you know what it's used for?
Isn't it to
specifically?
make the kicks sound stronger?
Yeah, essentially. But I mean, if we're getting real technical, it's so that the sub frequency, because in a tune, the only two frequencies that have sub frequencies are the kick and the sub, which you generally want to create yourself. Like you want to have your own sub, because those are the only two things that should be playing something as low as like 30 hertz. Fuck, I didn't even mean that. But the point is you don't want those running into each other.
Right.
Yeah, just it makes the bass come through.
But do I get a point for that?
You do get a point for that.
Nice.
You do get a point for that. All right, do you know what a bus is?
Wait, you've talked to me about this before.
Yeah.
It's where you put like all of the same frequency.
No, not frequency.
Um,
It's where you put I'm trying to give you a hint. It's kind of hard. It's like imagine in a song there's like different schools, right? And all the schools get onto different buses to go to like the swimming carnival. And there might be a school of like drums. And all the drums
so you put
go
all the
together.
drums on a bus,
Yeah.
and then what do you do with it?
You send it off to the master and then it plays. So you put them all together so that
What's the purpose?
it means that you can put everything together and you can process them the same. So we've only got a few more minutes in the studios, so we're going to speed run some of these, and I want to speed run a bit of the family court. All right. So what is an oscillator? This is level 3, by the way. So this is hard.
Oscillator goes up and down. That's what oscillate means, right?
It does, yeah. An oscillator is basically anything that makes sound.
Oh.
Any sort of synth
Oh,
that makes
come
sound.
on.
No, to be fair, actually,
That's
as
so
soon as you said,
pretentious. Oh my gosh, it's an oscillator. Is
Oh,
it?
come on,
It's
I
just
had
a
to-
sound. It's just a sound.
no, it's something that creates the sound.
So my voice, like is my
Well-
voice box an oscillator?
Well, if you talk about
Yes.
like oscillation, it's essentially something that creates that in the air.
Yeah, my voice
So if you have like,
box.
so if let's say like a sine wave is an oscillator, that because because I'm talking in terms of like actual sound designing.
Right.
You know, I'm just gonna say as well, I don't have specific definitions for these.
Yeah, someone's
These are
gonna
all
be
my
like,
own.
dude.
These are all my own definitions.
Okay,
All right.
next.
What is FM?
Frequency modulated.
Oh, come on. Nice.
AM is amplitude modulated.
That is true. What is phase?
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
that's
fair
one
enough.
that I don't get.
Nah, don't worry about that one. All right. What is the difference between mixing and mastering?
Mixing is making all the volumes within the piece at the right spot, like doing that thing. And mastering is the overall song.
Yes, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah?
I take that. People have different definitions, but I take that.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
All right. Nice. So, again, we've only got a few more minutes because studio's closing up. But I want to really quickly do a quick family court. I got some questions.
Let's do like 1 or 2 family courts.
Yeah. So, okay, this is one of my okay, I got 2 right here. Who would be more attractive as the opposite gender?
You.
I was going to think that, yeah.
I think your face, I think, you know what it is? I think it's because you have a sister who looks very similar to you.
I was going to say.
So I can visualize your face as a female face, but I cannot visualize my face as a male face.
Yeah, because you don't really look like your dad either.
No.
So.
I think that no.
Okay, I'll take that one. All right. Who is a bigger mouth breather?
You?
Yeah, I think you're probably is me. I mean, like. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of
no explanation needed.
Well, I was just gonna let you out me more with that one, but you already kind of added me anyway.
At the start.
Yeah, literally. All right, I want to know one more as well. I got a couple more because we're going through these well. So, who was a messier drunk? We briefly talked about this one, and this
is a hard question because not so much recently anymore.
Yeah.
But when we were like going out a lot, I would say you were overall messier because you get messy more often.
Yeah.
Like you'd end up booting a lot at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But when I become and you get like real over talkative and you're like you're a slurry drunk as well. Like you slur your words.
Yeah, to be fair, I do get sloppy. You hold it down. I get a bit sloppy.
See, I usually can hold it down really well and like control my shit. But when I do get messy, I get fucking messy. Like 2 of the messiest times, I broke my ankle at a bush doof once.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And like only like 6 months ago, probably less, I fell down the steps at Wahroonga Station.
Yeah, if you live up north, you know what.
And
I
still have like a hole in my shin from that. And that was I fall over a lot when I become a messy drunk.
Yeah, you do.
So I think that's my answer. Like overall, like. You
know what?
But when I get messy, I get fucking messy.
We'll call the last one a tie.
Okay.
We'll end it on a tie.
All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, thanks for coming on. I need to take a video of you DJing now so I can post it.
Okay. Yeah, my press shot.
Yeah. If you can send me a press shot after, that'd be great, mate.
Sure.
Thank you very much. All right. Anyway.
All right.
Thanks
for having me.
That's okay. Thanks for coming on. All right. Let's get out of here.